Okay. Hello. Something that I would like to talk about today is a rare one because it's something that I haven't even begun trying to work on yet, which I hate because I have this thing about like constantly needing to work on myself and enjoying doing that and knowing that I'm becoming better and flourishing, whatever, which is a whole other topic, I guess. But I haven't even begun to work on this yet because I don't know where to start. Basically, is my thing with it. Um, a savior complex. So, what is it? First of all, I guess I'll say to me it would. I don't. I'm not going to know the actual definition, obviously, but I know that it is some form of feeling the need to like save somebody that you're either like close to or something someone that you get close to or somebody that needs some kind of help. You feel like you have to get close to them, that kind of thing. So, and I don't want to start it as if like I don't know what it is. I know what it is, but I don't know the actual definition. So I don't know if that makes me seem like not credible, but there we go. So I have started to realize this and notice the patterns in the past of having somebody close to me um, who I constantly felt like I needed to be there for all the time and kind of be their therapist in a sense. And I think they also viewed me like that unintentionally. I don't think it's ever been an intentional thing of like, let me just use her for this. I don't think it's ever been like that. But I think definitely unintentionally they have put that on me. Um, and I've kind of noticed it because when I think back, I realize that most people who I've ever been really close to are the same people that treated me not the best. And I had to, my kind of pattern that I realized was that every of these individuals, pretty much almost, I don't, I've had to be begging them to get therapy. And all of them were opposed to it. And I don't know if that's because of just like some kind of personal thing or if they viewed me like that, like I was their therapy. I did have one person just straight up tell me, like, well, pretty much, like, no, I don't want to, like, I've got you, which sucks. Um, and I think it's weirdly hurtful because, I viewed these people as like, like, I want to say it's hurtful because I viewed them as someone that's just close to me, but did I also view them as like something that needed saving? Because I don't, to my knowledge, I didn't, but maybe subconsciously I did if that's what this savior complex thing is. So maybe subconsciously I did and viewed them as like some, I don't know, it feels so mean to be like, oh, I viewed all these people as like these helpless little things. Like that's not how, I don't think I did, like, ever. Like I viewed them as like somebody that I love, like they were close to me, like somebody that I loved. So I don't know. I don't think I did, and I'm really hoping that I didn't because I would hate that, but I really don't know. So I feel like it's something that I really need to think through a lot. But um, to give general advice, if you are ever in a position where being close to somebody is affecting you and it's because of them, and you are encouraging them to get help for whatever it is, you are allowed to leave. And I know that there's this whole thing of like people, you don't owe each other anything, which I hate. I hate all that thing of like we don't owe each other anything because we do owe each other things as human beings, as people. But if it gets to a point where it's hurting you, you are allowed to leave. You do not have to cling on to something and try and save someone. And you know, you you can let go. You don't have to be that person. There are professionals who are there for that. And even if the issue seems small, or even if it's the biggest, thing, if they're, say, I don't know what word I can use on here, but like, can I say that word? If they are wanting to not be here anymore, you are allowed to, well, this is complicated. That's a really complicated one because get them help, do what you can. And I've had situations where somebody's been like, oh, like, you're not talking to me, I'm, doing this to myself. And it's like, oh my God, like, um, it is great manipulation, I guess, from that person, but you also have to be able to take a step back and do what you can to get them professional help. But you are not a professional. You are not their professional help. And that's a tough one because it is such a common manipulation tactic in a lot of relationships, especially like abusive relationships and just things like that. But it can also show up more subtle in like more even chill dynamics where it's like this person needs help for a topic or an issue that is actively hurting me, and they're not getting help for it. So I'm allowed to take a step back. However, jumping back to the real life, I'm not going to do that because I want to help this person. I want to show them what it can be like without that issue. I want to help them work through it because I've worked through many things. I want to help them. And that can be so damaging because that's no longer, you know, the relationship that you think it is. I don't mean relationship like couple, I mean like just relationship between two people. That's no longer what you think it is. From that point, it changes. You're now their therapist, you're now their comfort, you're their person that they go to when they don't know what else to do. And that can be confusing for the person with that complex, speaking from myself, because then it's like you think they're just coming to, well, subconsciously but you think they're just coming to you because they see you as a friend or they love you or whatever. They're not. They're, even if they don't realize it, it seems like a very unspoken thing. They're now coming to you because they see you as a lifeboat. They and they know that you will accept it because you now know a reason why it could be being done. Whatever behavior they're exhibiting because of whatever issue they're putting across to you, you now know it, and you'll now accept what's being given to you, even if it's damaging. Does that make sense? Because it's like, it is so damaging. And I'm kind of thinking back and being like, oh my God, like, are you kidding? Like, it's actually scary how many times it's happened. And I've just not clocked it because I love being self aware and being able to clock issues as they're coming up. But and I'm sure there'll be people watching this who think like, oh, I wouldn't, like I can spot manipulation like that, or I can do this like that. And I've always thought I was that kind of person who can spot the manipulation, but it takes being manipulated to realize that that is why it's called manipulation, because you don't spot it. I'm sure that there are like literal professionals in the fields who have been manipulated and not like clocked it. Like a professional in that field, like say someone who is very like a professor in psychology, I'm sure they have also been through a similar situation, because that is the thing about it. You don't recognize it a lot of the time. Sure, there's sometimes where they're slacking with it and you can kind of clock it, but even if you do clock it, you probably clock it when you're too deep in. So then it's like, ah, you know? And then it's just another thing to work on. It's another thing to say to them, like, hey, work through this, work through this. And it's like, damn, that is so sad for both people involved, I guess. I guess it, yeah, it is sad for both people involved because not only is there this person on this side who just wants to help the person and they are not accepting the help because maybe, and this is a thing with a lot of people, I think a lot of people, I really like this term, fetishize their own sadness. Such an interesting term that I picked up. You know, it's just, it's like somebody will really enjoy being sad and being this thing that people need to help, or even, you know, acting like they don't want the help, but they seek these close relationships that give them that help. So, do you really not want help? Or, you know what I mean? It's like, there's a lot of layers to this, I think. And I really do find it fascinating. People who fetishize their own sadness, key term there, they will be the death of you. They will be the death of you. They they will refuse to get any sort of help, and they will come to you in the times of crisis and get, they will suck out your life force, basically, is what I'm saying. They will suck out your life force and you will have nothing left. It is scary. It is so scary that people can do things like that. And I think, sort of almost shifting to another topic, but also not because it really relates. I think a reason why it's been so easy for people to do that to me is because I kind of have this like, uh, this sounds so dumb. Every time I try and think of how to word this, it just comes across as like I'm an empath, so this makes me really sad. But like, I think I have some sort of heightened empathy. This is cringing me already because it just feels like I'm an empath. I think I have some sort of heightened empathy, and um, it's annoying, which is probably on the same level as like my thing about needing to understand people and like always craving understanding and craving being understood. It's something probably on the same, like under the same umbrella. I don't know if that makes sense. Um, I am way too empathetic with people close to me when I mean, am I, or is that a good thing? You know, should I? I have let people walk all over me a lot in the past and lower my expectations, especially in relationships. I have lowered my standards and expectations because of empathy and because of understanding and because there's always a reason. But there's always going to be a reason. They can give you whatever reason in the world. It doesn't mean that it's okay. And yeah, it's just like annoying. It's really, really annoying to have this complex that I just can't seem to get out of, and the pattern just keeps on repeating. But now I've only recognized it now fully, I guess. So hopefully, this is where things start to change because I mean, it's already changing because um, my, I'm just going to press the power button again. My best friend has never made me feel like that, you know? She, actually meeting her changed a lot of my life because it was like, oh, this is like a normal like relationship here. This is how it's supposed to be. I'm not meant to feel like I'm, you know, trying to fix her or something. I never wanted people to feel like I had to fix them because people aren't broken things, you know? That's not, but it's a complicated one, I guess. It really is. Um, but yeah, she has really kind of opened my eyes in that sense, and it's like, oh, this is how it's supposed to feel. This is how normal things are, normal like friendships, relationships. This is how it is. Like I'm just happy. I'm just happy, and it's chill. Like we're not. It's not 24/7. Like it's like it's just chill, and it's nice. But it's not chill in the sense of like there's no like I want to say passion, but that sounds really relationshipy. There's no, it's not chill in the sense of like we don't put effort into like seeing each other or anything like that. We still do, but it's just so much more chill. It's like, oh my god, this is actually great. Like I'm not anxious every day because of this person. Like it's insane. It's like, oh, this is how it's meant to be. I just, wow. So meeting her has definitely like changed my life in so many ways because what? Like, I didn't know that it could feel like that. I didn't know that this is what people have just been experiencing their whole life, like just normal things like that. Okay, great, cool. So, um, yeah. Mm, my brain's gone a bit blank, to be honest. Yeah, but the empathy thing. So sorry, I've just turned my microphone off again. I did this in the last video as well. I just pressed the button. I can't not fidget with this. Sorry. Um, yeah, my brain has really, really gone blank. I should I end it? This feels like it's not been that long. Should I end it here though? Is this like a good place to? Because I do have another topic, but I kind of wanted to start a video with this topic. No, okay, let's go for it. This is going to be an intense one. Are you ready? Okay. If somebody is acting like they don't like you, they don't like you. If somebody is acting like you're not funny, they don't find you funny. If somebody is acting like you're annoying, they find you annoying. And this is the big one. If somebody is acting like they don't love you or making you feel like they don't love you and you are constantly questioning it, spoiler alert, they don't love you. There we go. There is no in between that. There is nothing like, oh, they are, but they're just scared to show it. They are, but maybe just not as much as I love them. There's no in between. They just don't. That's that, basically. And the big one there is about love, because love is such a deep thing that there's never a, well, not as much or too much, or love is its own individual thing. And if you feel love, you feel it truly, completely, and it's everything. And I have had a relationship where I haven't been in love. And this was a huge mistake. And I said that I was. And it's not even like it was a long time. It was like almost 2 years ago now. And I said that I was when I wasn't. I didn't realize that I wasn't, which I regret, because if I would have just put more thoughts into my feelings and emotions, I probably would have realized it and been like, okay, maybe I'm just kind of using this as some sort of distraction. But if it makes things better, he wasn't a nice person at all. He ended up cheating, which I didn't care about because I wasn't in love. But still, it it doesn't make it right. It was That is definitely one of my hugest regrets, because I never, no matter what kind of person the individual is, I never want to put somebody in a position where um they're feeling something and I'm not, because I could tell that he was in love. Weirdly enough, I know that he cheated and everything, and I didn't care about him. But I could tell that he was in love. It was very obvious to me. I never had to question it, which really weirds me out because I've questioned it many other times with people who are a lot nicer. So it's like, what about that was so obvious? But you just, you know, when someone's in love. When if someone's in love with you and they're saying they're in love with you, you won't be questioning it. You won't have to wonder. You'll just know, because that is pretty much what love is. You just know. So if you're constantly having doubts if somebody feels the same way, they probably don't. Unless it's like some kind of crush and you're like, oh my god, do you like me back? But then you don't really know that, do you? But, you know, in the general sense of like, especially in a relationship. But yeah, I don't know where I started that trail from, but yeah, I've done that where I've told somebody that I love them and then realized that I didn't after it had ended. Um, and I hate that because love is a huge, huge thing for me because it is, I think, probably the deepest thing we as people can feel. Um, yeah, it is, I'd say, because there's so much that comes from love. Like, love can cause grief and sadness and jealousy and excitement and all of this. So, love is kind of like the umbrella for so many other things that we can feel. So, that is probably one of my biggest regrets because I hate the idea of someone being made to feel like that. Because if you're in a relationship with somebody who doesn't love you, you can tell. And it is so constantly damaging. So I hate that I've probably done that to someone. And even though he ended up being a horrible person and cheating, it's still, you know, damn, like, sorry. And that kind of changed my view on cheating a lot as well, because I have a huge thing about my hatred towards cheating because it makes no sense to me. That's mainly why I hate it, because it makes no sense to me. Because I've always had the opinion of that if you want to cheat on someone, you don't love them, so you shouldn't be with them. But I think it's that's something that has baffled me. The fact that I could tell completely that he loved me and still he cheated. So that really confused me. And as I say, I don't want this to be like, I'm not trying to talk about an ex in a way like, oh, because I can tell you right now, and I'm not saying this to try and sugarcoat anything, I didn't care about him. And I know that's bad. And I'm not saying it as a kind of flex or to cover anything up. I'm just saying I didn't care about him. And that is sad and really mean of me. And I have worked on myself since that. And it is a mistake that I will not repeat again. But yeah, so it definitely changed my opinion of cheating because, but then now what is my opinion? I don't know. I just know that it's weird. And the way that he did it was because he thought that the relationship was going to end that night. Because I was like mad about something. Probably didn't even wasn't even that deep to be honest. And I just like went home, and then he just like really quickly found another girl, kissed her, and then rang me like sobbing about it. um, and I think I just like hung the phone up. I was like, oh, okay. And then sorry, so funny. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, so that was kind of like a quick thing for him of like, okay, it's ending anyway. Fuck this, I'm just gonna get this. So I guess cheating, depending on the intention behind it or the feelings behind it, can have different meanings of where it comes from. I personally have never cheated. I've never cheated, never will. Um, I don't think it would bring me any joy. I think it would bring me a lot of anxiety and then regret, and then it'd be something that I just had to carry with me my entire life. And it's like just a bit much, isn't it? You know? And plus, when I'm in love, so when I'm like with a partner, I'm in love very deeply. So there would not be anything that could sway me, I'd say, anyway. Um, but I just feel like the whole thing about cheating is just something that I really like to I was gonna say I like to think about it. I don't like to think about it in a way of like, oh, I like to think about the concept of cheating because it is very interesting to me and baffles me. Because what? But there's so many technicalities with it, especially with what I was just talking about, that it makes it hard to fully examine because it's like it can come from different places. It can come from anger. It can come from ego a lot. Most of the time, it's from ego, I'd say. And yeah, it just all depends. This is the thing with everything. It all depends on the intention and where it comes from. And that is so important with everything in life. It's like you do something nice for someone, but it depends on your intention of that. Intention is so important. So it depends on that. This sounds a bit too close to like, oh, well, his intention. I don't mean in the sense of forgive them. Never. Okay. This is some quality life advice right here. Somebody cheats on you, does anything like to that level unfaithful, get gone. Seriously, get gone. I don't care how deep you are. I don't care if you think you can work through it, whatever. Get gone. That is it. That is the moment that you see some kind of unfaithfulness like that, go. Seriously, go. It will, nothing will, you will be forever. That is not something that can be fixed in a relationship. You will be constantly having this mistrust in them. There will be a part of you that feels betrayed forever if you stay with them. If you get out and move on, you can heal, but you can't heal when you're with the person who's making you feel like that every day. Cheating is the one thing where it's like done. Like in that example, when he phoned me, said what he tried to cover it up at first, but when he said what he'd done, it's just like, okay, we're done then. That's it. I'm like, I know that sounds a lot easier because I wasn't in love, but even in any normal, like that is a breakup. Cheating is a breakup. As soon as you know anything, it's a breakup. That's it. There's there's no question about it. You can have your closure talks, you can have whatever, that's fine. But that is literally it. And also, cheating has nothing to do with you. If you're in a relationship, this is the thing with so many things when someone's cheated, it's like you look at this other person that they've cheated with and like, what do they have that I don't have? Nothing. Nothing. They were easier, not better. That's it. They were easier. They were not better than you. They were easier than you. Or maybe he just, or she, anything in a relationship, woke, anything in a relationship, they wanted them more than you. That's nothing to do with you. Okay? I mean, God, have you ever been colouring and you picked up a colour, didn't like it, moved to another colour? Great. That's not to say that that colour isn't a great pen. What a metaphor. It's not like a bad pen. It's just not the pen that you wanted to use for that specific drawing at that time. There is nothing wrong with you if you've just been cheated on. There is nothing wrong with you. It is not your fault. It is not your fault. Okay? Reminds me of that scene in, I can't remember the movie now, but it's like, it's not your fault. He's like, no, don't do this to me, man. Not you. Family Guy did like a bit on that. It was funny. Yeah, it's not your fault. It's nothing to do with you. Just focus on yourself after that. Focus on yourself, focus on your own healing. Recognize something bad has just happened to you and it sucks, but it's nothing to do with you. And it's everything to do with them and the kind of person they are. So there's that. This feels like it's been a long one now. I've had a lot to talk about. there was a huge gap between the whole savior complex thing and then the next topic. My brain went, I was like struggling because I didn't know if I should end it and start a new one because I feel like that topic for me was really important. Of like, if someone's acting like a certain way, it's probably because they feel a certain way. So, yeah, but we got there, didn't we? Okay. Have I got anything else to share? I'm having fun tonight. I'm seeing a friend and having Bailey's hot chocolates. So good night for Emmy. Buzzing. I have some really cool plans coming up, which I'm really excited for. One of them involves cats, so really hyped for that one. And okay. Well, thank you for watching. I can see it again. Like and subscribe. I love saying that. I don't know why I don't clip this to my top. Would it be the same thing? I don't know. But, oh, this is sorry. I meant to talk about this top because I really like it. This is a top that I got from Urban. Um, actually, this top and these joggers are from Urban, but I just obsessed with it. Like it's got everything. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I need that. Sorry, leopard print and red and green. Red and green are my two favorite colors. Well, green is my first favorite color, obviously, and then red I think is second. Um, and then it's got brown and leopard print, and it's just like got this cute little flower here, and flowers. Oh my god! Like, come on, this top. Somebody handcrafted that and thought she'll love it. It's my ego talking there. Yeah, somebody just handmade it for me totally. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up here now. Okay. Um, I love you. I love you. Just want to get more and more personal. Okay. Goodbye. Like and subscribe. Should I start doing that? I don't know.